Hello and good evening. Welcome back to PURDUE-CERS. Last week we showed you a few talented salsa and hip-hop dancers that rock the stage with their moves. This week we will be taking a category shift to languages. The Chinese Calligraphy Club and Purdue Tamil Sangam have graced us with their presence tonight to show us what their language looks like on paper. Let's take a look at what the Chinese Calligraphy Club has to show us today.
So we are now showing the Chinese calligraphy, and basically when we are writing, we need 4 tools of scholars, which are brush, inkstones, rice paper, and inkstick. We're gonna write 8 characters, which are 悲欢离合,阴晴圆缺 in Chinese. In the ancient time, the scholars usually use moons to express their feelings and emotions. So do these 8 characters. The first 4 characters we are writing is 悲欢离合, which is related with people's emotion. 悲 means sourness. 欢 means happiness or joy. Li means separation. He means get together with each other. So the first 4 characters are finished. And now the thing she's doing is adding more ink into the inkstone. Usually we need to put some water with the ink because there is the ink is really pretty thick, so we need to add water. So now we begin to write the last 4 characters, which are 阴晴圆缺. And those 4 characters are describing moons. Yin means dims. Qing means shines. So inqing means moons usually have dims and shine. The third character, yuan, means wax. And the fourth character, que, means wing. So how do we understand those 8 characters? The meaning of these 8 characters is people have joy and sadness when they are separate with each other or get together. Just like moons, they have dims and shines, and they also have waxes and wings. So all those 8 characters are already finished. So in Chinese calligraphy, we have a lot of scripts, and this one we are showing is cursive script, which is kind of smooth, and when you are writing, you usually take just a short time because it's a casual one.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. I loved the metaphor you told us and how beautiful it looks on paper. I'd love to talk to 1 or 2 of you guys if you'd like over here.
Sure.
Sure.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the Chinese Calligraphy Club and when it meets on campus and kind of what it means to you guys?
So our club usually meet on Thursday at 7:30 at Beering, 255, and we have 8 officers in our club. We don't need anyone to register in our club. You just come here and stop for a minute and practice calligraphy, basically. So we're gonna teach 4 characters each week, and all of those are quite simple, not like those 8. So it's quite easy to learn, and you can enjoy calligraphy and like the art pretty well.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So it's kind of more like a class for people. Since you said you don't really have to join, you could just kind of show up and you guys teach anybody that wants to come.
Yeah.
That's
Basically,
awesome.
not like a normal class,
It's a
but
club.
yeah,
Like a club,
it's
yeah.
a club. Yeah.
That's awesome. So would you guys recommend, like, people who don't understand or speak Mandarin, would you recommend that they come and learn, and why?
Because it's just an art, just like paintings. So you just come and learn in kind of art, just like that. So you don't require to learn Mandarin, or you're gonna want to learn Mandarin here. You just like learn a kind of art.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So I heard you guys talking a little bit about how a lot of this represents moons. Can you explain a little bit more about that? Because I know that's important in Chinese culture. Could you explain a little bit about what moons mean to you guys?
Okay, like this kind of characters come from poetry from China, and like we are international students, so we cannot share the Mid-Autumn Festival with our family, so we just look at the moon.
Okay.
Like everybody in the earth can see the moon, so that's how we like symbolize how we missed our hometown.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you say you meet once a week?
Yeah.
And so how many people on average do you have come each week?
We usually have around like 20 people here in the meetings. Yeah, basically a lot. And we'll have 2 officers each week to teach the characters. Yeah, so it's like totally around 25 people.
That's awesome. So would you, since, like I said, is there a lot of people in other cultures that come through, or is it mostly Chinese culture?
We have cultural diversity, basically. In our officer group, we already have a Korean students here, and during the meetings, we also have American students. Japanese students also come sometimes, because there are not a lot of Japanese students here in our like on campus, basically. But most of our our members has a lot of cultural diversities here. Yeah.
Okay, well that's so awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing
you.
with us. And we're going to get a quick word from our sponsors.
We are all Boilermakers, but we're also much more. We're history makers, exploring the farthest reaches of our universe, often when strapped to a rocket. We are hope makers, rebuilders of Haitian cityscapes who ensure they'll now withstand any disaster. We are difference makers, developers of drought-resistant crops that just might end world hunger. The fact is, what we make moves the world forward. We are Purdue, makers all.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters.
Our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, It's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Everyone should know how to do hands-only CPR. If you see a teen or adult suddenly collapse, all you need are
2 simple steps. Call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives.
just push to the beat of the classic song, Staying Alive.
It really works.
You didn't let me finish. I really do know this stuff.
If it wasn't for disco, I'd be dead.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
Welcome back. We now have reps from Purdue-CERS Sangam to show us a little bit about their language. Let's give the spotlight to another great culture.
So the first word she's writing is the name of our language itself. It is pronounced as Tamil. Tamil is one of the oldest languages in India, and it is one of the most surviving language in India. There are two oldest languages in India, Sanskrit and Tamil. Tamil is still surviving. It's still spoken by over 70 million people. The first word she wrote is nothing but Tamil. Tamil has 12 vowels and 18 consonants. Both of them combined to create 216 alphabets. And so a total, with the special character, we have 247 letters in Tamil that creates the language. So our group name is Tamil Sangam. That is the word she has written. There are two words, Tamil and Sangam. Sangam means it's a scholarly body. Tamil is one of the oldest languages, were created 500 BC, and it was the poets were told to strictly adhere to the language and its rules. So they created a scholarly body where you have to present your poems, your language additions, features to the language, and it would be debated and adapted to the language. And if you think about it, Tamil introduced the peer review over 2,500 years ago. And she's going to be writing a simple sentence from a poem that was written over 2,000 years ago. The two words that she has written are pronounced as Yadum Ure. It basically means every part of the world, even if it is divided by borders, it's all the same, and the line looks the entire earth as one. There are no borders, and that represents the sentence Yadum Ure. The word that she has written is Yavarum. Yavarum means everyone. In the poetry, it subtly represents everyone in the world. And the final word that she is writing is Kelir. The entire sentence reads as Yadumure Yavarum Kelir. It was written over 2,000 years ago, clearly it means kin. So over 2,000 years ago, Tamil gave to the world that we are actually brothers and sisters by birth. And that's something we are proud of. You might notice that the writing does not look like a standard calligraphy because Tamil is one of the most efficient language, and we used to write it in dry palm tree leaves. So you can write each letter in Tamil without taking your pen off the paper. So it involves more curvature work. So it's more efficient. That's why the words look like these. And the poet who has written this sentence is known as Kaniyan Pungundranar. He is one of the poets who actually told the world, regardless of your birth, we are all one. We are all brothers and sisters.
Well, thank you guys so much. It makes me want to learn, but it looks very complex. If you could come over here, and I'd like to ask you guys a few questions about your club.
Sure.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your club and where it meets on campus and how often? You want to?
Sure.
You have a mic, so you can tell me.
Yeah. Our club.
You want to come a little closer?
Sure.
Thank you.
We actually meet every week in PMU Starbucks. Actually, from 6 to 7 on Fridays. We have official room in Stewart. We are yet to assign the official time, but we usually meet for festivals, Indian festivals. Please like us on Purdue Tamil Sangam in Facebook so that you can get the current updates of what we are doing. We usually celebrate a majority of the South Indian festivals, such as Pongal. It's one of the harvesting festival. We celebrate it for 4 days. So one of the big events of Tamil Sangam. And just to meet and greet, to learn about Tamil, to learn Tamil culture, we always have like a board when we meet in PMU Starbucks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many people would you say roughly are in the club?
Currently we have over 350 members.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a large group, and we constantly post update about language and the culture and the upcoming events. And recently we held events, Hari Kondabolu, who is a stand-up comedian, Indian American. A lot of students from Purdue and diverse cultures actually showed up for each
That's
festival.
awesome. So there are like a wide variety of cultures that are in your club?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So what would you say about, so English speakers, what kind of maybe hardships would they go through trying to learn? Because to me that looks so complex, but to you guys I'm sure it does not. But what hardships and like struggles do you think they would have going through this? Or do you think it's kind of easy to pick up?
It is easy to pick up. We have just 18 vowels and, 18 consonants and 12 vowels. Once you learn them, it is easy to create combinations of those words. And as I told you before, it's more efficient to write and then to learn. And you can easily write a letter without taking your pen off the paper. So it's easy to learn.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for the great background about your guys' culture. We're going to go for a break really, really quick, but be sure to stay tuned for these two groups to teach each other a little bit about their languages.
Why would you bully me?
Why would you bully me?
Why would you bully me?
Because it makes you feel cool? Because I'm different?
Do I touch a nerve?
Does making me feel bad make you feel good?
Why?
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 Bullying hurts. Bullying abuses. Bullying kills. Why would you bully me?
Hi. I'm your mediator.
I'm really glad we can be adults about this.
One thing you'll see in every society in the globe is music. It's part of what it means to be a human being. You watch these kids, you can just sense this incredible joy and feeling of accomplishment. You just can't imagine that school was at one time silent without any music.
When I sing, it makes me feel happy. Every trouble I have, it just brushes away.
Music lets me express myself.
My life would be really boring without music.
It's like, wow, we did that?
In New York City, more than half the schools don't have music at all. And I think this is one of the great tragedies in the past decade is that it's been going down. Now we're starting to go up. And thanks to education through music, they're really reversing this. And it's the most important thing we could be doing in education right now is making sure that there's music in these schools. That it costs just $150 per kid for a whole year is like the best money one could ever spend. It's changing these kids' lives and making them better people. It's going to make our city a better place.
It's time for my favorite part of the show. We have both groups here today to teach us a few of the same words from each culture. But before we start, I want to ask a quick question about language. Do you guys think that being bilingual is beneficial in society we live in today?
Oh yeah, definitely, because I feel that when you're bilingual, even multilingual, it helps you move around the world, understand other people through their eyes, and it just widens your perspective of things.
That's awesome. How about you?
Yeah, I have the same idea. Like people travel around the world during vacations. So if you're bilingual, it basically you can feel easier to travel to another country. So I think it's gonna be good then.
I agree. I wish I was bilingual. Trust me. But now it's time for you guys to teach you a little bit of each other's languages.
So the first word that we could go with is honesty.
Okay.
And in Tamil we say honesty as nermai.
Nermai.
Nermai, yes.
Okay.
Like my friend said before, we have each consonant and vowel combinations. So the first vowel combination that we'll write is ne.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes like this. This is ne. And then followed by ir. This is ir and then mai. There you go. Can you try?
Okay. Move the seat a little bit. So it goes like this,
Yes.
right?
Oh, there you go. That was very good.
Thanks.
So how about we try honesty in your language?
Okay, so I got
Sorry.
clean out those. So first of all, you need to, if you want to learn calligraphy, you need to know how to hold a brush. Because this one is a brush. It's not like painting brush. It's not like a pen. You need to hold, you can hold this for time. You need to hold a brush like this first. You can hold it a little bit down.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you use your middle finger to grab the brush.
Okay.
And you use your ring finger all over here.
Okay.
And
Is
if you
that right?
relax, the little finger here.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the way you hold the brush. And when you're writing, make sure the brush is straight to the table.
Okay.
Do not like this,
yeah.
Okay. First of all, just for the record, Chinese calligraphy, we are writing traditional Chinese, not simplified Chinese.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a little bit complicated than what we usually see. And first of all, we're gonna write honesty. Honesty in Chinese is called 诚实.
诚实.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can separate 诚 and 实 separately. They're gonna be 诚实. and it's gonna be two characters, Cheng and Shi. So this one is Cheng.
Okay.
Do you like try it first or
Yeah,
after the two
I think-
characters?
So do I go below that?
Sure.
So.
So you hold a brush
grab
like this and grab it and stick it out here and feel relaxed with your lower finger.
Okay.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty good. That's it. So this is Cheng. So this script is a little bit different with what we are showing. That one is cursive one. This one is like a formal one.
Oh.
So you can see like the cursive one is like it's pretty smooth, and this one you need to write it a little bit slower than that one.
Okay.
And now it's Shi. Pretty good.
Thank you.
Like, I have one thing to say. Like, when you're writing Chinese, you can't like really we follow the like procedures writing from the left to the right, from the top to the bottom.
Left to right, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see when I write this character, I write this part first and write this one, and write this dot is the most on the right part. I write this last, and when I write this, I write the dot first and then going up, and this one is the most bottom part, so I write this at last.
All right.
So that's it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much for teaching each other. Did you find it difficult, or is it kind of easy once somebody else showed you?
I think that was difficult.
Yeah, that looks pretty. You're gonna have to
It
teach
was
me
like a
when
lot
we're
of
all
lines.
done. You're gonna have to teach me that. But thank you guys so much for coming on and teaching us. We've definitely learned a lot. If you guys want to be part of the producers and you know if you know which pair you want to see up next, make sure to tune back here, back 8 p.m. next Wednesday.